Public speaking is one of the biggest fears for most people, and you're not alone if it makes you nervous. In fact, did you know that more people fear public speaking than death? That means, for many, the thought of speaking in front of a crowd is worse than being in a life-threatening situation. A survey by the National Institute of Mental Health found that over 70% of people experience some form of speech anxiety. That's a shocking number, right? But here's the good news: you don't have to live with the fear. Imagine walking into a room full of people, ready to speak, and feeling completely confident. It's possible, and I'm going to show you how. In this guide, you'll discover simple yet powerful strategies that will help you eliminate speech anxiety once and for all. We'll explore how to use pauses to calm your nerves, breathing techniques that instantly reduce anxiety, and how to connect with your audience to make speaking feel effortless. Stick around. By the end of this, you'll have all the tools you need to conquer your fear and become the confident speaker you've always wanted to be. Ready to dive in? Let's go! Chapter 1: The Power of Pause, Mastering Silence for Confidence. If you're nervous about public speaking, you're not alone. Research shows that 75% of people experience some form of speech anxiety. But what if I told you that silence could be your secret weapon? The key to reducing anxiety during a speech is not talking more, but pausing effectively. Pauses give your brain time to catch up, helping you stay in control. They also allow the audience to digest your message, making you sound more thoughtful and in command. The idea of silence may sound counterintuitive, especially when you're nervous to speak in the first place. But silence actually makes you appear more confident. Think about how confident speakers often pause to let their words sink in. It's not just dramatic effect, it's a technique to regain control and alleviate stress. In fact, studies show that speakers who incorporate pauses are perceived as more credible and composed. A great example of this is former US President Barack Obama, known for his deliberate pauses. He often uses them to punctuate his speeches, allowing the audience to reflect on his message. By mastering the pause, you give yourself permission to slow down and breathe, which in turn calms your nerves. So, how can you practice? Start by slowing down during your next conversation. Instead of rushing through your words, pause every few sentences. Focus on taking a deep breath before continuing. Soon, you'll notice that it feels more natural to pause during a speech. By creating space in your words, you'll not only reduce anxiety but also increase the impact of your message. Chapter 2: Visualization Overload, Seeing Success Before You Speak. Visualization is a tool athletes have used for decades to improve their performance, and it works just as well for public speaking. Studies show that mental rehearsal can reduce anxiety and boost performance by preparing your mind for success. In one study, participants who visualized their performance had lower heart rates and felt more confident before speaking in front of a crowd. This technique is known as mental imagery, and it's incredibly effective. Before your next speech, take 5 minutes to close your eyes and imagine yourself speaking with ease. Picture the audience engaged and nodding along as you speak confidently. Feel the sense of accomplishment when you finish. The more vividly you visualize your success, the more likely your brain is to make that scenario a reality. The science behind this is fascinating. When you visualize an event, your brain activates the same neural pathways it would if you were actually doing the activity. This mental rehearsal helps reduce stress and prepares your body for action. The brain doesn't know the difference between a real event and a well-imagined one, so you're already setting yourself up for a positive outcome. Tommy Lasorda, a former MLB manager, famously said, "The difference between the impossible and the possible lies in a person's determination." Visualization is a key factor in that determination. If you can see yourself succeeding, your body will naturally follow. It's one of the most powerful ways to eliminate speech anxiety before it even starts. To get started, find a quiet space before your speech, close your eyes, and vividly imagine yourself speaking with confidence. Picture the room, the audience, and even the applause. As you practice this, you'll begin to shift your focus from fear to excitement. Chapter 3: The Invisible Armor, Using Body Language to Banish Anxiety. Your body language can either fuel your anxiety or help eliminate it. When we're nervous, our bodies often show signs: shaky hands, fidgeting, and avoiding eye contact. But what if you could use your body to combat those nerves? Research from Harvard Business School shows that adopting powerful body language, such as standing tall and using expansive gestures, can boost your confidence and reduce anxiety. Amy Cuddy's famous TED Talk on power poses demonstrated that by standing in a confident posture, even for just 2 minutes, you can lower cortisol, the stress hormone, and increase testosterone, the confidence hormone. This means that by simply standing tall with your shoulders back, you can actually feel less nervous before stepping in front of an audience. What's even more surprising is that these small changes in your body language can also influence how others perceive you. A confident posture doesn't just make you feel more at ease, it makes you appear more authoritative and credible. So, the next time you're preparing to speak, don't slouch. Stand tall, use open gestures, and make deliberate eye contact. You'll feel the difference immediately. An interesting experiment by the University of California found that people who maintain good posture are perceived as more confident, capable, and even more competent in their field. So, body language isn't just about how you feel, it's also about how others see you. A confident body language leads to a confident mind, helping you fight anxiety from the inside out. Another easy way to incorporate body language into your speaking routine is to practice in front of a mirror. Focus on your posture and gestures. Try to stand with your feet shoulder-width apart, avoid crossing your arms, and make eye contact with your reflection. This will help you become more aware of your body and help you feel more relaxed when facing an actual audience. By mastering powerful body language, you're not just fighting anxiety, you're transforming it into a tool for success. Chapter 4: The Anxiety Detox, Breathing Techniques That Beat Fear. Did you know that anxiety can actually change the way we breathe? When we're nervous, we tend to take shallow, rapid breaths. This triggers a stress response in the body, making us feel even more anxious. But there's a simple solution: breathing. Research shows that controlled breathing can lower anxiety and calm your nerves before speaking. One powerful technique to use is diaphragmatic breathing. Unlike shallow chest breathing, this method involves breathing deeply into your diaphragm, allowing your lungs to expand fully. A study from the Journal of Clinical Psychology found that diaphragmatic breathing can significantly reduce stress levels, which is exactly what you need before stepping onto the stage. To practice diaphragmatic breathing, place one hand on your chest and the other on your stomach. As you breathe in, ensure that only your stomach rises, not your chest. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for a second, then exhale slowly for a count of 4. Repeat this for several minutes before you speak. You'll instantly feel more relaxed and ready to go. Another technique worth trying is box breathing, used by Navy SEALs to remain calm in high-pressure situations. To do this, breathe in for a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and then pause for 4 before inhaling again. This rhythmic breathing not only calms the mind but also helps you focus and clear your thoughts. But how effective are these techniques? In a study by the American Psychological Association, participants who practiced controlled breathing before a presentation reported feeling less anxiety and performing better than those who didn't use breathing exercises. So, the next time you're about to speak, remember, just breathe. Chapter 5: From Nervous to Natural, Crafting Your Own Speaker Identity. When most people think of public speaking, they imagine the perfect speaker, polished, smooth, and confident. But here's the truth: no one is perfect. The best speakers embrace their unique style, quirks, and all. Trying to mimic someone else's speaking style can actually increase anxiety, because you're focusing on being someone you're not. The key is to craft your own speaker identity. One of the best examples of this is Steve Jobs. Jobs was known for his natural speaking style. He didn't try to sound like a polished orator. Instead, he spoke from the heart, using simple language and relatable stories. In fact, his speeches were so effective because they felt genuine. A study in the Harvard Business Review found that authenticity in speaking is directly tied to audience engagement. People connect more with speakers who seem real, not perfect. So, how can you create your own speaker identity? First, focus on your strengths. Are you great at telling stories? Do you have a way of breaking down complex ideas into simple terms? Whatever your natural talents are, use them. The goal is to speak in a way that feels comfortable and true to yourself. One way to get started is by practicing self-talk before a speech. Tell yourself, "I am good enough just as I am," or "I have valuable ideas to share." This positive reinforcement helps build confidence and makes your speaking style feel more natural. Remember, every speaker has their own style. Whether it's energetic and fast-paced like Tony Robbins or calm and thoughtful like Malala Yousafzai, the key is embracing what makes you unique. By finding your voice and sticking to it, you can eliminate the pressure of trying to perform, and instead focus on delivering a message that resonates with your audience. Chapter 6: Audience Connection, Turning Fear into Fuel. One of the most common sources of speech anxiety is the fear of judgment. What if the audience doesn't like me? What if I make a mistake? It's normal to feel this way, but here's the secret: shift your focus from yourself to your audience. When you connect with your audience, you stop worrying about what they think of you and start thinking about how to help them. A great example of this is public speaking coach Julian Treasure, who often says, "The audience is your partner." When you think of the audience as a group of people who are there to learn from you, your anxiety can transform into excitement. The more you engage with them, the less you'll feel isolated on stage. Research backs this up. In a study conducted by the University of California, participants who focused on helping their audience, rather than worrying about their performance, reported lower anxiety levels and a stronger connection with the crowd. When you view your speech as a chance to offer value, you can shift your mindset and feel more confident. One effective way to create this connection is through eye contact. Studies show that making eye contact with your audience helps build rapport and makes you appear more trustworthy. Instead of looking over the heads of the crowd or focusing on your notes, try to make eye contact with individuals throughout your speech. This will help you feel more engaged and less nervous. Another technique is to ask questions or use interactive elements during your speech. This not only makes the audience feel involved but also takes the spotlight off you. By turning your presentation into a conversation, you can turn nervous energy into enthusiasm. You'll notice that instead of fearing judgment, you'll feel more energized by the opportunity to engage with your audience. Remember, the audience is on your side. They want you to succeed. When you stop worrying about their judgment and focus on connecting with them, you'll be able to turn anxiety into an energy boost, helping you deliver a memorable and effective speech. Conclusion: by applying these 6 powerful strategies, pausing effectively, visualizing success, mastering body language, controlling your breath, embracing your unique speaker identity, and connecting with your audience, you'll be on your way to eliminating speech anxiety forever. Public speaking doesn't have to be a daunting task. With practice and the right mindset, you can transform anxiety into excitement, making every speech an opportunity for growth. Keep using these tools, and before you know it, you'll be speaking confidently and naturally, just as you were meant to. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on becoming a powerful, confident speaker.